Hi, I'm Elizabeth Barnes, and I'm going to share my presentation on professional dispositions, ethics, and growth. My first personal value or bias is building healthy relationships with students. I also feel that this is the most important. The strongest lessons we teach often happen when a student knows we truly believe in them. So, students are young and impressionable, so when we hold them to consistent standards of discipline, they may think we are the enemy. It is so important to bear discipline with care so that our students feel secure and empowered to reach their full academic and personal potential. Relatability is the second most important personal bias or value that I have. What if the student in front of you sees you as the key to their future and not just a teacher? As a teacher, I know how crucial it is to be relatable to my students. Sometimes they see us as these perfect, untouchable figures, and they may assume we don't understand the challenges they face outside of the classroom. When I'm able to share my own struggles and pieces of my personal journey and times I've had to overcome something, they see me as human. That connection builds trust and shows us as allies and lets them know I truly understand them. This is how I can break down a barrier and motivate and challenge my students to keep going and fight for themselves, even when it feels impossible. Boundaries between teachers and students, another very important personal value that I have. Clear boundaries create a foundation of respect where both teaching and learning thrive. While building healthy relationships and relatability is important, I also stay mindful of professional boundaries. I can be warm and approachable, but I also keep interactions focused on learning. By maintaining this balance, I show students that they can trust me as a guide, but also know where the line is so that we keep a professional, safe environment. Keeping clear boundaries with students is about respect. This is my space to guide and their space to grow. We honor each other's boundaries by being mindful of personal space, belongings, and our roles in the classroom. These boundaries must be set with clear expectations immediately and held to standard through consistency. Building mutual respect, another very important value and bias. Children deserve the same respect we give to adults. They're individuals with their own voices, and by honoring their dignity, we help them grow in confidence and trust. Building mutual respect means I respect my students' need for space and time when emotions run high, and in turn, they respect that I am here to guide them with fairness and care. By honoring each other's individuality and diverse experiences, we create a classroom culture built on trust, empathy, and shared responsibility for learning. In my classroom, academics are a priority and we strive for excellence in learning, but I also believe that education isn't just about books. It's about building respect, empathy, and compassion. So I make sure we balance academic rigor with moments to reflect, build character, and understand each other's diverse experiences. This is accomplished by holding students accountable when they make a mistake, but also holding myself accountable in front of my students by admitting when I misunderstood or made a mistake myself. Resembling effective communication. I recognize that not every colleague relationship needs to be personal, but professional respect and support by using clear communication is essential. I prioritize advocating for my students' needs and rights while also ensuring I maintain strong, effective partnerships with parents and guardians. Partnering with my grade level colleagues is important because when we communicate effectively, we stay focused on shared goals, aligning our lessons, and teaching strategies. This ensures our students experience a cohesive academic journey that helps them succeed. Holding each other accountable and setting high expectations for the school year respectfully keeps us aligned with students' needs and makes sure that every decision we make is truly centered on student growth. Partnering with parents ensures that students' needs are met both inside and outside of the classroom. Keeping communication respectful and professional allows for trust and clarity, which lets me collaborate with colleagues, families, and keep students as the focal point of everything that I do. Use of technology in the classroom. In my classroom, the use of technology must ensure equal access for all students, regardless of background. It's important that students' personal information is protected and secure access to online resources are used for educational purposes only. The responsible use of technology can genuinely enhance students' academic growth and engagement. While I don't always love the overuse of technology in today's world, I recognize that we do live in a digital world, and I must support modern technology in the classroom so that my students stay up to date and prepared for the future they'll face. Using both summative and formative assessments digitally can significantly boost engagement and participation, as it provides immediate feedback and interactive experiences. I do believe technology should be a purposeful tool, but it should not be used as a replacement for traditional teaching methods. The use of technology should be integrated thoughtfully, ensuring balance and deliberate use in the classroom. This may look like using a time frame of 30 minutes to use online references to complete a project, or using Word document to type a short essay. Ensuring all students have equal access means only requiring students to complete technological assignments on campus because some students may not have internet access at home. Professional standards of practice. So, a few examples of what this may look like is reflecting regularly on teaching practices and decisions with the help of colleagues. Self-reflection is a major factor in education as an educator. Also, seeking feedback from observations and students. Yearly, you could create a survey to ask students ways that they found your classroom and your teaching exciting. You could also ask for ways that they think maybe there should be changes. So seeking feedback can also be a very important tool for professional standards of practice. Another example is engaging in professional learning through workshops, collaboration, or analyzing student data. That's a major one. Also, being intentional and reflective. As I said, reflection is very important. Okay, relevant laws and policies. Using honesty, holding myself accountable to the Model Code of Ethics for Educators, and recognizing professional ethics standards are important. This ensures I uphold the educational law regarding students' rights, follow district and state policies on equity and safety, and adhere to professional conduct guidelines, ensuring that every action I take as an educator is aligned with both legal and ethical standards. This also ensures that I separate my personal views from my professional role, so I use my position solely for the benefit of my students and the profession, never for personal gain. Okay, one professional learning goal that I have, and the most important goal of mine as an educator, is to make a difference in the world through the eyes of my students. My hope is to guide my students so that they see their own potential to create change and make an impact through service. I can accomplish this goal by setting an example of integrity, perseverance, and empathy. I can accomplish this by creating an environment of respect, diversity, and dedication where every student feels valued and empowered. I want to reflect on my life when I'm old and make sure that my life was led with purpose. Another professional learning goal that I have is to inspire my students to be curious, adventurous, keep an open mind, and discover truth for themselves to cultivate a passion for learning. I want to inspire my students to conduct their own research, find their own answers, and base their conclusions on both personal experiences and self-discovered truths so that they take ownership of their educational journey. A professional development topic. Referring to PLCs, I'd like to contribute to a team that focuses on reaching every student. To do this, I'd like to focus on culturally responsive pedagogy, ensuring we adapt our teaching to honor and respect the diverse backgrounds of multi-ethnic students. Since our student population is becoming increasingly diverse, we must adapt our teaching practices to incorporate diverse cultures so that every student feels seen and heard. We can do so by incorporating books that contain stories of diverse cultures and completing assignments based on the book, or asking students to share a familial recipe that contains the fractions being taught for math, for example. These are just a couple of examples of how we can reach each student and every student. For professional development topics, another one, I would like to be a part of a PLC that focuses on data-driven instruction, where we regularly analyze student performance so that we can collaboratively adjust our instruction, implement targeted changes, or adjust our instruction, and improve student learning outcomes. For example, if the data shows majority of the grade is struggling with rounding place value, we can reflect and decide if our teaching strategies need adjusting and revisit said topic again. We should want to set students up for success as educators and avoid complacency when we notice students struggling. And these are my references. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed.